Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we were meant to have Michael Roberts on the show, but Michael gave us 6 tapes of his race riding history, and unfortunately we could not get the show formalized by today. So we will have Mace next week, and in fact we'll probably have a 2-part series with him, and he's got a fascinating story to tell, and it's going to be very interesting chatting to him. But with me, super sub Kevin Shea. Those Tottenham boys probably needed a bit of help from someone like you and Laff yesterday.
Yeah, good year. I watched the game. They were all over them like a rash, and they couldn't slot one away. But for me, I think the game of the weekend was the Arsenal-Hull game.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah,
It was the worst game of the week.
It was, and we were sitting with my mates, and we always have a wager between us. And I was looking to get on Arsenal, and nobody wanted them, so I took Hull and the draw. And after 10 minutes, I was prepared to pay half my wager, because I think they'd already had 10 shots at goal. But I mean, unbelievable how Hull defended for so long. I think for 75 minutes or 80 minutes, they had 2 shots at goal. Arsenal were all over them like a rash. And I think the keeper, Bonovic or something, I think he was the man of the match, man of the weekend. For me, he saved the game. It's 3 or 4.
He saved one off his fingertips that no one could save. Was going in.
That was going in. That one, and he saved 1 or 2 point blanks. It was absolute. I thought a classic game to watch, to see how. I was waiting for it. It should have been 5 or 6, but unlucky they weren't. But yeah, Spurs went down as well. And we got to all hold thumbs tonight.
And okay, so knowing that you support one of those teams from Manchester, the red one, not the blue one, that's Phil Giorgio.
No, the red one.
How were you overseas the other day against that overseas team, a Swedish team or whatever? How good was that?
Absolutely shocking. I mean, as you know, the supporters were singing the great song, "We are playing like SH1T," and they were. And we've got tonight. We play tonight, 9:30. So let's see what we can do. I'm very worried about our side at the moment. We've got a lot of injuries. There's a lot of things going against us, but we just got to keep going.
The only bright spot in that side is Martial. He looks like a real
Martial playing very well at the moment, and yeah, with Rooney out with injury, and there's big trouble in the camp there. The word is that maybe Mourinho will be coming there. Apparently, he's definitely going to be the next United manager. So I hope sooner than later.
There was a thing on Sky, watching Sky on Sunday morning, about some girl that he had lunch with, and she said he's looking forward to going to Manchester.
Absolutely. The rumour is he's going to be the next coach. It's just when. I think this guy's got 2 more years left, but I can't see him. I think he's got 3 more games in to work his career.
Just remember the one thing about our man Mourinho. He moves more than some people's horses we know, okay?
Absolutely.
And he'll be there for a year or 2, they'll do well, and then suddenly they'll go off and they'll have a change room revolt, and that will be it. That will be the end of young Mourinho. And then you'll have to find Louis van Gaal again, or you'll have to get Gus Hiddink back in.
I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, they're in a little bit of disarray at the moment, but the football this year has been interesting. It hasn't been dominated by any one club, and when you see a horse like... a team like Leicester, and the bookmakers have priced them up favourite to win the league. So it's interesting.
They've got the easiest run in.
Absolutely, and they just keep week in and week out just playing marvellous football. Forward, attacking, every chance is a just...
Well, I said to Laff last week, I said that guy Robert Huth at the back is the best centre-back in the league, I think. And certainly Vardy has got to be one of the best strikers around. So,
Vardy, I hope they keep him, because I'm sure that big clubs will be looking for him. Both of those players, and if you don't want to lose those 2 players.
Okay, let's move on. We're going to go and have a look at some racing. Laff is having his PET scan today, and we wish him well with it, because this will tell us exactly where he is. And hopefully he's very positive. He's looking good, feeling well, dispensed with the hat, the hair's growing, everything's going well. Let's go and have a look at our 3 to follow.
His dad, distorted humor, he's probably one of his best sons at stud.
I'll have another, wins the Derby. I'll have another in the Preakness.
Lilacs and Lace, 48-1, upset.
He's just a big, strong, leggy horse.
Well, it's great to be able to have our team from Maritzfontein and Wilgersdorf in the 3 to follow, and they certainly had 2 very nice horses step out over the weekend. The 3-year-old Colt by Ideal World is the first one we pick up at Kenilworth on the 17th of February. Brett Crawford trains. It went 1,400 metres for the first time. Let's go pick it up at the start. There it is, drawn 3, Kev.
Yeah, it comes out a little bit sluggish, James, and the outside horse drawn forward chops him off quite early. He stays one off the fence, is a bit of pace. The original winner has got blinkers on, looks like he's nice and tuned up in the Marsh shirtlet colours, goes to the front there now, and like you say, is going an absolute canter in the front. And we've got the Oppenheimer colours sitting second last, and you can see Cornet, a horse that I think is looking for a lot further by Western Winter, is never really travelling well. Looks like he's racing very green, but a small field. He's not out of contention, but he just looks like they're just giving him not an easy run, but just letting him get to know what's happening, have a look at the turn, and goes. You can see him now. The horse in front is absolutely going a half pace, and Pierre Cornet off a third from last now. He's actually off the bit and greened. But James, one thing I like now, what Pierre does is he actually comes right off the fence and gives us also a complete clear run, which I think is a very good thinking of Pierre. Very green still running in. I would say running away from the stick a little bit. He's got his stick in the right hand. Very green under a hard ride. Looks like maybe he could run a 4th here. You can see him there lugging in now, and I think that's all because of the stick. And every time Pierre gives him a smack, he ducks in. But you can see now the horse that's been in front looks home and nose, and here it comes. I mean, 3 or 4 more strides, I think it's going to get up. And definitely, like you say, a horse to follow over 1,800 metres. A nice gallop. Very, very, very nice horse.
Well, he's by Ideal World out of a Sadler's Wells mare. Now, you know, he's looking to go 1.25 miles plus. He probably end up being a horse that might end up being a Derby horse.
That's absolutely correct. And you can just see from that run, he's going to improve leaps and bounds. I can just see just a completely different horse next time. Jump up, sitting in a good position, and run them out of it.
Right, let's move on to the next one, and we go to Kenilworth on the 20th of February. Now, this was the first 1,200 metre maiden juvenile plate, and take a look at this. Absolutely scintillating win. This is a very, very nice filly. Drawn 1.
Yeah, comes out, James, looks like it knows what to do, and you know, 1,200 for the babies is not easy, and a Kenilworth 1,200 is a tough Kenilworth 1,200, and it comes out with his head in his chest, and it's sitting in front. Like, I would like to have had my money on it from now. He gets a horse on the outside that runs up to try and make it race a little bit. Most of the guys have elected to sit in and give them a chance, which I think is the right thing to do, but this comes out lovely, lovely, lovely action horse. Yeah. This is by Western Winter.
This is the one by Western Winter.
Yeah.
It's out of Mrs. Brock. I think you know the family. But just before we go there, the horse that ran second and was odds on in this race ran in the feature first time out on Met Day, and ran 2.5 lengths off them. So it was odds on. This is the one in the Hutting colours. Yeah. That's the Triple H Trust colours, and it's under pressure here on the outside. But watch this filly scoot away from it.
Yeah, she gets away with it now. I mean, Donovan's not been very hard on her and all. You can just see beautiful action. The odds-on's in big trouble like this. Donovan hasn't even pulled his stick yet, and he looks left and right, and you can see it's race over and eases up at the line. Very, very impressive. It can only go places, this.
Is this Mr. Brock's, out of Mr. Brock's sister? You ride Mr. Brock in Dubai?
Yeah, I wanted him in Dubai. I wanted him all around the world. Oh, Mr. Brock, he's a legend, and the owner, Serge Sinyan, had the decency, not the decency, but he loved this horse so much. I mean, he ran him in the World Cup. He got Ryan Moore on him, and he brought him back to South Africa. So
he's retired here.
Mark de Kock's assistant, John Butler's fiance or girlfriend's got him, and he's jumping now, and he looks magnificent. A very, very happy.
Isn't that a wonderful story?
Absolutely. But from Mauritius to South Africa, he went South Africa to Mauritius, Mauritius to England, England to Dubai. Ran in the great race. I think he won about nearly $500,000 in stakes in Dubai. So he was an absolute legend.
And Johnny Giroudis, I know, went over to ride him quite a number of times.
Yeah, that was when he was at the end of his career. He wasn't at his best in, but he brought him back to South Africa, and he's doing very well, just for the Mr. Brock and Mauritius fans.
Right, let's go and have a look at the next one, and we go to Greyville Poly Track on Sunday, and this was a meeting that was trained from Scottsville on the grass, and I believe really that if this filly had run on the grass at Scottsville, she would have won. But we're going to pick up Laf's filly, Beau Var. This is a beautiful daughter of Var, runs in the first at Greyville on the Poly. Let's go and pick her up in Michael Leaf's colours. Yeah, she's drawn right on the outside, which doesn't help with the first timer. Stu Randolph rides her.
Little sluggish out, James, and Stewie gives it 2 smacks down the shoulder. Beautiful filly. I was looked her in the ring, absolutely. And I thought maybe if he had dropped, hadn't given it 2 smacks, it looks a little bit over racing now. Leading on the wrong leg, she's leading on her left leg, and on a right-hand turn is not the best thing. 3 wide there, right on the outside. As green as hell. I mean, it really, you can see it now. She actually ducks away from the horse. I think the horse on the inside gives it 2 or 3 smacks. The noise that came off that horse, getting it 2 or 3 smacks, ducks away. But I still thought at this stage now, if she's 100% fit in that, she's going to go through and win it. But I think after running wide and being a little bit keen earlier on now, still at this stage, the commentator, Craig Peters, picked her up like she was going to go through to win it. But I think just ran out of puff the last little bit. The 2 horses that beat her on the inside had both raced, which is such a positive when you're running against babies, raced horses. Yours down the inside was a little bit in the rest a bit, I thought, but a very good run for a first timer. Like you say, down the straight, I think it would have been a different story. And one to follow. I don't think anything will beat that next time.
Well, I picked her up because she is a lovely filly, and you know, it's nice that Laf's got a couple of these horses, and he deserves them. And
yeah, he said he spoke to him. He said he's got some nice 2-year-olds, some overseas blood, which always helps, and he's looking positive. I think Duncan Howell's got a few nice ones. Frank Robertson. There's a lot of lovely 2-year-olds in Natal at the moment. You'll see the Canamayers and Snakes, and the Ramsons will bring theirs up as well. I think we're going to have a bumper winter season.
Looking forward to the winter season.
I'm really looking forward to some horses. I think some of them haven't even come out yet, so there's going to be some very good horses here in winter, and this is what we need to get the racing, to get the crowds back here.
Okay, well, let's go along and have a look at Blast from the Past, where we're going to look at the 1998 Mondi Sprint, see if you remember who won this one.
Gates are open, soft falling rain, pulling clear, soft falling rains won the SA Nursery by 3.
Racing in the 2000 Guineas. Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
They're off and racing.
Weight didn't matter. Class tells, soft falling rain, much too good. Soft falling rain, an impressive Guineas winner. Soft falling rain is drawing clear.
He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
But it's soft falling rain who is powering away. We'll see out the mile in style. A high-class performer wins the Nay of Joel Stakes.
Forward, Harry's Charm loaded up quietly enough. 1 left to load. They're all set now. 1,200 metres to sprint, and they've fired away in the 1998 400,000 Mondi Sprint. And Golden Loom got away smartly, but is being tucked in off the paces. Basic Instinct, there's no pace on in the early stages. Nobody wants to get on with it, and Harry's Charm is going to have to move up on the outside. Golden Loom's fighting the rider. Shoe Shack is handy between runners down towards their inside. Exclusive Member is handy. Main Thunder just a couple of lengths off the leader with True Tempo. Further back, Coded Missile. Planetary Music is 4 lengths adrift of the leader. Then comes on the inside Rhapsody in red, and the Hunk is the back marker as they came past the 600 and on to the 500. Basic Instinct, the leader from Harry's Charm in second. On the outside is Shoe Shack. Golden Loom is tracking the leaders. Then comes Exclusive Member. Behind that, Main Thunder's now off the bit as they come towards the 300, and Golden Loom is being set alight on the grandstand side. Golden Loom with Harry's Charm down the inside is Shoe Shack, Planetary Music, Basic Instinct. They come down to the 150, and it's Golden Loom on the outside, Basic Instinct. Over towards their inside is Shoe Shack, Basic Instinct, Golden Loom. Golden Loom coming at Basic Instinct, but we have a possible huge upset. Basic Instinct has won it. Basic Instinct has beaten Golden.
Well, there we go. We're just having a look at that lot. Basic Instinct, you know him.
Yeah, I won the Gilbeys on him the next year for Johnny Nicholson. Same colours. He was a soldier of horse. He used to have plenty pace, but never used to like the stick. You used to have to give him in the left hand 1 or 2. And same like that. I mean, there's some good horses in there, James, and that was when he was really at his top. And good old Johnny Nicholson, great man.
Basil and Antoinette Hersov, they were the best owners in the business,
absolutely.
weren't they?
They never used to come to the races and aggravate you. Used to let you carry on and do what you had to do. And
they loved their racing, really loved their racing.
Really,
and,
they deserved a good horse, and they got one.
Their brother, Ronnie Hersov, was a great friend of my family's, a really great friend.
Absolutely fantastic. And Golden Loom, you know him, he was the champion. As you said, they tried to drop him in there, go 6 furlongs. He was a better horse, I think, who liked to stride. Yeah. Harry's Charm, yours, Kawabunga. I mean, there were some serious horses there. I'd like to know how many Group 1ers were in that race. And small but select field, and that's what racing's all about. You don't want 20 runners and 10 of them get in the way. You want the best and let them take each other on. Like you saw the match race last week was absolutely fantastic.
Well, we're going to watch a match race next week. Just your comments on it when we got Mason, Gavin Haas, I think it was, Northern Princess
and the Senior Santa.
Yeah.
You're going to enjoy that one. Mace Roberts at his best.
At his best.
At his best.
Funny enough, there were other match races before that, which people I don't think really remember. There was Mr. Janning and Double Eagle.
Clarewood.
At Gosforth Park. I think Mr. Janning didn't travel, so they sent him up to Gosforth Park. Trevor Lang was telling me the story.
Right.
And he rode Mr. Janning against Double Eagle. David Payne rode Double Eagle.
Right.
Nick Lambourus' horse,
That's
was it?
right. Double Eagle, he was a very good horse.
Yeah. I think he had 2 match races. I think they had one at Clarewood and one in Johannesburg.
I remember there was one at Clarewood as well when I was a youngster.
Horses, yeah.
Big money in those days. Is put 50,000 rand down there. You could buy a house for that money.
But the point is that isn't it fun when someone sprouts their mouth off? Maybe we should be having some match races.
Well, we could get 2 horses that 2 guys want to take each other on. I think it's...
you must have a pacemaker in if you're going to go the 2,000 meters.
Well, then it's not a match race.
It's not a match race. It's all about the jockey show.
All about the like Mace. You'll see Mace last year completely outskied Gavin House. Everybody thought that Mace was going to sit by an hours, and when he looked, you'll see it was the absolute classic.
Well, exactly as Cliffy Otto said, they thought that they were going to go to the front with Divine Act, and they just sat next door to Pierce
Stratton. A bit of company, and that was it.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go and have a look at our plum of the week, which is quite a good one.
Clears away 3 or 4. Chiller's back second. Down the inside, Roy Royale. Supreme Powers towards the outside. Then Argo Jet. And it's Battle in Seattle. Chill tries to close it down. Roy Royale is down the inside. Battle in Seattle still leads it, but is now looking for the line. And it's Battle in Seattle. Supreme Powers running on. Pyrenees in Spain, but Battle in Seattle won it. Second, Pyrenees in Spain. Close for third, Supreme Power or Chill.
Well, if you hadn't entered a better count, you could have got 5-2 about this horse. It ended up shortening into 14-10. There was 5-2 freely available. It sat on the highway at Villiers or somewhere Van Renen for 4 hours in the heat
40 degrees heat, yeah.
And it still won. But you know why it won? Because if you looked at the mirror ratings, it was rated on sand 90 plus. Okay. It then ran on the grass, and it's quite interesting to read it. I've got it here. It ran on the grass off a 72, and it ran 11 lengths behind. Then ran off a 69, and ran 3 lengths off the winner. It ran a very good race, and got dropped another 2 to 67. And then this was patently showed plenty of pace, and then it dropped out of it.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, for 1600 too far for it.
Yeah.
And then they dropped it from 67 to 63, so it dropped another 2 kilos. It's a 4-year-old 4-time winner, remember. Not how many races won, but it is a 4-year-old, and it's a 4-time winner. There were other 4-year-old 1-time winners giving it weight in the race. Shows you how well handicapped this horse was. Thackeray had rode it last time, so obviously Stewie Pettigrew lined us up very nicely.
Yeah.
It came down here, despite sitting on the road and everything, it dawdled in, and it will come back here and win again.
Well, that's their plan. But I thought, Matthew, I looked at the horse. I mean, Warren and Ferner got the information that Stewie said this horse will win tomorrow. Yeah. And then he phoned Warren to say, listen, this horse has been stuck for 4 or 5 hours at Villiers. he's a little bit worried about it. But that was the day before, James. They must have brought it down. They gave it liquids. They probably gave it a drip or something, put all the electrolytes back into its system. Must have had a good meal, enjoyed the different surroundings. Came to the races. I was a bit dubious about backing it as well. Looked at it in the ring. Like you say, was sweating a bit, but you know Stuart Pedigree's horses, they do sweat a little bit. And it was very humid that night as well. Went to the start. I said, that's for me. I'm in. I didn't get the 5-2, but then I thought the kid went a little bit too fast in him. But that's how it races on the sand. It goes to the front and doesn't even stop. But he went clear, and I thought halfway down the straight, maybe, but let's just hope. But with 63,
it was so well in.
It had to keep going.
It had to keep going and had to win, and it ended up winning by 2 lengths or whatever. But it won easily. And at the end of the day, what does it boil down to? It boils down to that if you study form, it's like being able to back winners knowing the result. And this was like that. I made it the best bet on the Interbet podcast. So anyone who listens to the Interbet podcast, hope you got the cash. But you find these every now and again, and we find them. There's a filly that Sean Terry's got as well. That's won 4 on the poly track.
No, 5. Sinead Babe. What's her name?
Chennai Babe.
Chennai Babe.
You look at the different sand and poly track.
She's
not the one I'm talking about. She's the one I'm talking about. Lamberti rode on the same night. I'll be able to tell you.
In other words.
No.
That's
it
also
ran in the 3rd race.
But Brian Wheat brings.
Lady of Kildare.
Oh, yeah,
there's another one. Yeah. You know, that came down with this ridiculous merit rating, and we've been saying this anomaly is going to crop up, but it crops up, but it's good for the punters.
100%.
The guys have a good bet.
But Brian Wheat started the trend about 3 months or 4 months ago. He slipped these horses down here with low merit ratings, and they never stopped winning. And every year the following, like you can't believe, and Sean Terry's jumped on the bandwagon, and now it's Stuart Pedigree. So I think the guys in. Listen, you're not doing the Durban trainers any favours, but the guys in Joburg, have a look at their horses, the old Vol ratings, those sand ratings, bring them to Durban. I'm not saying the poly is like the sand, but they go on it. They're getting the rating on the poly.
Certainly they run better on the poly than they run on the turf.
100%.
And so if the rating's high on the sand, they come here on the poly. A typical horse is Uncle Tommy.
Another one.
You know, he just absolutely loves the poly track. You put him on the turf, he runs well, but he doesn't run as well. He's 3 or 4 lengths inferior on the turf.
He was a sand genius and a poly too. So guys in Joburg, put your heads together. You're going to upset a few of the Durban trainers, but that's racing. The season's coming now. Bring them down.
Okay, let's move on, and we're going to have a look at current affairs, where we've got quite a lot of interesting information to talk to you about.
Yes. If you love soccer and you play the tote, you won't believe what Interbet has to offer you. Or the excitement of tote betting on your computer or your cell phone. It's simple. Choose your teams and your bets, work out what your combinations will cost, see how big the pool is, and place your bets. You can even track your bet live as it happens and get updates on your progress. It's all the fun of the tote on your phone. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now at www.interbet.co.za and you could be a winner.
Right, well, we're going to go and have a look at the 2 feature races in Cape Town. And a Vasco Day is always a great day because Bryn Ressel and the team, you know, have you ever been to Vasco?
No, I've never been there. Prawns on the lawn. Why don't have a prawn on the lawn?
Yeah, well, Vasco's pub that he owns.
Apparently it's very good. Everybody that goes to Cape Town goes there. It's a popular place.
Fantastic.
It's a landmark.
Yeah, and so they have their day, and they have the Prix Cup, which is fillies race, Group 3, and we're going to pick it up at the 600-meter mark. It was won by the right horse. You could not possibly back anything else in the race, because if you're going to have champagne and prawns, you're going to have some Cuvée Brut. So let's go and pick them up at the 600.
Coven. Varumba's going to corner back one from last, and racing at the end of the line we got Patola as they straighten up in the Vasco Prix Cup with 600 metres left to go. Come Fly With Me has moved forward to take the lead over Kasiawood in second. Then comes Harvard Crimson, and Cuvée Brute has got a dream run still under a tight hold up the middle. Next it's Petty Officer, then it's Seacut who's going with her into the closing stages. Alexis is starting to weave away through between runners. Fear Not is deeper out into the final 300, and Cuvée Brute gets given a head in the middle. Petty Officer is a lively challenger on the inside. It's Cuvée Brute that's taken the lead. Petty Officer is wearing it down on the inside, but Cuvée Brute finds another gear close home. Cuvée Brute from Flying Ice. Next it was Petty Officer and
Cuvée Brute.
You know, where do you buy that champagne? I haven't tried that one. I've been around the world with Frankie Vittoria and Mick Cannan, and they've never had Cuvée.
Can you believe? Cape Town, Carpenas, Cuvée Brute.
Cuvée, not Cuvée. Anyway, well done, Ravon.
Anyway, Ravon, not a champagne drinker, so
we noticed that.
But understand that.
Like we said off air, Marcus at his very best, puts him in the right place. He's absolutely, honestly, when he would see him at Gravel, that he's 2-3 lengths, he just has the edge on the average guy that's riding. He's just different class. And when he pulls the doctor, not too many of them go backwards.
Well, that one never been 1400. It looked like it was looking for places to hide, and he just kept it going. But then the next race was absolute jockeyship to perfection from Bernie Fade Herb. You watch how a man dictates the pace. If you watch this whole race, you'll see him dictate all the way around and into the straight. But we're only going to watch from the 600 and watch what he does, the old soldier, King of Pain.
To go and hasten things up front. Gallica Rose is creeping close on the rail. Then comes Three Balloons, and Zante has also crept a lot closer as heads stern for home with just over 600 metres left to go in the CTS Chairman's Cup. It's the Grey King of Pain that takes them to the outside running rail and brings them into the home straight over Cold Train in second. Then it's Gallica Rose in third. Zante is creeping a lot closer with each and every call. Current Event has come under a ride, and then comes Three Balloons as they enter the final 350. The Grey King of Pain is now being joined by stable companion Cold Train on the inside. Three Balloons are starting to lift on the outside. Then comes Gallica Rose. It's the Grey King of Pain. Cold Train now gets going on the inside. Three Balloons on the inside, but the Grey King of Pain is finding more, and King of Pain from start to finish wins it. Close behind that.
Well, King of Pain, he's a Group 1 winner. He's a damn good horse. And when you get him on the right day and you put him in the right place, he's going to win for you. And he just showed it. He ran second in the Winter Derby, this horse, so he does stay.
He stays. In Cape Town too, they don't make it a genuine stays race. They do ease up a little bit, but I mean, those small fields, like you said, Bernie gave Anton a bit of his own medicine. What Anton does at Gravel, he gets the guys on the outside fence, and I thought it was a very good ride from Bernie. I still thought halfway down the straight, Anton had a little bit of horse underneath him, but didn't happen. So
I thought the key was going to the outside, because it meant that if he'd gone down the inside,
everything would
Anton would have been able to go past him on his right-hand side. But once he went to the outside, now they all got to go with him. No one's going to go down the inside, so they all went with him because they don't want him to have an advantage if it's better on the outside, which it showed later it wasn't, because something went down the outside and ran nowhere. But he took them all there, and now Anton had to switch in and go past him on the inside. And, you know, sometimes horses, you know what horses are like. They're just...
And I think that horse, he likes to come from a little bit further back. I think when Coltrane, is it... when
he likes a pace, I think.
Yeah, he likes a pace. And when Anthony Del Pesce won on him there too, I think he came from second last thing and runs past them all. He was up there handy the whole way. I know there was no pace, but anyway, I thought great ride from Bernie. I've got to give him credit where credit is due. And Joey Ramsden, it was his second choice in the race.
He had three in the race. He ran first and second. Well done to Joey.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, let's go and talk about jockeys. Gav Larena going to Hong Kong.
Yeah, he's got to go and do it. Richard Free's come back. It's become a Joe Moreira.
That's a party for Joe Moreira. It used to be like Dougie White used to be.
Dougie White now, but Joe Moreira, if you guys go into the Hong Kong Jockey Club, just have a look, go into jockeys there and have a look. How many winners? I think he's nearly on 100 winners. His stakes he's earned is absolutely phenomenal. He's completely controlling Hong Kong. Zach Purton, Keris Teaton, they're fighting for their lives, but I think he's on 90 odd winners, and the next guy's on about 34. He's absolutely cleaning up there. He can, as Richard says, he can take any ride he wants there. If he wants to ride a horse, they'll put him on the horse. He's the magic man. He's a great jockey. He's controlling Hong Kong. So Gab's not going to have it easy there, but they have got the fresh memories of the Jockeys International. He's going to be given 1 or 2 chances, and in Hong Kong you've got to do it quickly, like your first meeting or second meeting. Otherwise
they say you bad luck.
Bad luck, this man. Bad luck. It didn't bring luck this time, and then you could be a long 2 months, and he could be missing out on a lot because Gab is riding in top form here.
Just talking about jockeys, Pat Edry. You know, they've in perpetuity. They made the first race at Ascot on King George Day. His race, the King Pat Edry Memorial.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. He was a great man, a great jockey. Won a lot of races, a lot of Group 1s. He rode with the great Lester Piggott, Willie Carson, Michael Roberts. Great thing, and it's a big day, and he will be remembered.
He deserves it. Traffic Guard had his first winner on Sunday at Greyville.
Yeah.
He's a sire at Summerhill Stud. He's by more than ready. It's nice to see him strike.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that. I remember I used to ride against him, a great stayer. Johnny Egan used to ride it for the colours of, who are the colours again? You'll know who the colours are. He's a hell of a nice man, a very wealthy man, the green and cream colours. But Traffic Guard was...
Khaled Abdullah.
No, it wasn't Khaled Abdullah. It was another guy.
I'll tell you.
Johnny Egan used to ride for
Pretty Hay.
That's him, Mr. Hay. Mr. Hay, Great colours. They bought this. They spent a lot of money on this horse. They bought him from Abdullah.
Coolmore, I think.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money for this horse, and he did go on to win a few races. But good to have him in this country. He's a very well-bred horse, and he stays well.
Talking about well-bred horses, Zenyatta's second foal runs on Saturday at Santa Anita. Gary Stevens rode it for John Sheriff.
You said.
I tap it.
I'd love to know what they paid for that as a yearling.
Well, they didn't. They bred it.
They bred it. So, otherwise, they would be in the $1 million category.
Well, the first foal was by Bernardini. It's had 2 runs. Where do you think it ran?
Yeah, I know. Bernardini.
Stone lost. Ran lost twice. Yeah. Zenyatta's first foal. But Gary Stevens is riding it because the regular rider has got a 3-day suspension. So he gets to ride. And he's quite happy about it. John Sheriff's the trainer, says very nice horse.
Well, let's hope so. Because
7 furlongs. 3rd race, Saturday at Santa Anita. We'll keep you informed as to what happened. A couple of sales coming up, Kev?
Yeah, we got the Mick Goss sale tomorrow.
Summerhill ready to run?
Yeah, Summerhill ready to run. A very big sale. A lot of good horses come off there. I heard Lap say that Mr. Goss wasn't well, so just wishing him well because it's a pressure day. But I've never been up to them, but apparently he really lays it on.
Oh, it's a beautiful day.
Absolutely. You can see that normally we have a clip on it and they show us all what he does. He's a amazing man to have that sale. So we've got that sale on Tuesday. We've got this Summerfeld dispersal sale on Wednesday for all those poor horses
that's at Shongweni,
The Shongweni, yeah. It's but the guys are here from Zim and Mauritius, and they try and pick up a couple of bargains, and there are bargains to be made there. You get 10s and 20 grand horses that you think are not running the right distance or need a bit of help in that, and they come. There's a lot of horses on there, so let's hope some guys get some bargains.
Obviously, the Thoroughbred Breeders Association, who's in charge of the spot, their big sale, the catalogue's out online now. You can go and have a look at it at www.tba.co.za. That's the 27th to the 29th. And then we've got of April, that is. So put that in your diary, 27th, 29th of April. Then we've got Let's Go Travel. I've got this budget arrangement. Check it. Yeah. Cost saver.
Cost saver, yeah. Only starts at 28,000. Then he fainted. Anyway,
it's pocket change for you. You've been going on.
I think it's 10 or 12 grand cheaper than the whole thing, and all you don't get is a seat on the ground level. Phil's seating arrangements for World Cup Day has got to be the best. You can walk straight out your restaurant or where you're sitting, and you against the fence, and the horses are walking straight past you in the parade.
California Chrome from me to you.
Yeah, 100%. And you got that 200-meter big screen in front of you. You can see the races live. And fantastic. Well done, Phil. Let's hope some guys jump in on the saver.
He runs a wonderful show, and it's nice for him to think of those poor arties like us. And we'll talk about arties later in Your Call, where we're going to do a few emails. Well, there you go, Magic Millions. If you want to go to the sale in Adelaide, that's the next big sale. That's the 13th, 14th, 15th of March. Laf and me will be going to that sale, and we're certainly looking forward to being able to get some decent Australian bloodstock here from the Magic Millions sale. But we got emails. This is always quite interesting. Kev, have you done emails before with us?
I've done them with you. You get some,
right. Well,
I'd hate to see the other 200 that you get as well.
We're going to start with the first one, which is from Praveen Chetty. Now, Praveen Chetty is at Glencore, and he sent us an email about community projects and Good Morning Angels and all types of projects that the mining industry does for people that are disadvantaged, all types of things. And he says that the racing should fall into line. And it's a long thing, and then he gives me a spreadsheet of how much money they spread. Well, I want to tell you that Praveen, well done to you guys, and we're very, very happy that you're supporting community projects, but the racing industry is as good as any other industry there is out there. You've got guys like Hassan Adams who have all these kids' days at Kenilworth. You don't know the philanthropy that comes from people like the Oppenheimer's family and Graham Beck, how much they put in, how many people they paid for, how many people pay for jockeys to go through the Jockey Academy that we don't know about. People in racing are unbelievable. Lafferty had the cancer. They did a cancer drive for him. It's just unbelievable, you know.
Yeah, no, listen, well done to Praveen. He really done his homework and got all the figures and that. But racing does do a lot, as you mentioned. Hassan Adams, the Marcus Eustis, these guys, what Gold Circle do for the kids at Christmas time and Easter time, and they have the pink drive, and a lot gets done here in Gold Circle, and all three clubs. A lot gets done for people. So we're not out of it. Yeah. We have golf days. We have a lot of.
We support the Thoroughbred Trust. You know, they try and look after thoroughbreds.
Thoroughbred Trust, the horse care unit, the underprivileged kids. The list goes on and on and on. We can only say that.
And on top of that, there's a lot of support for people who fall on hard times in the racing industry. I think that they've done, trainers associations, and they fund a lot of people who are really battling, you know.
Yeah, Trainers Association, the Jockeys Association. We had a very big Jockeys Association. We made that flu that broke out in Cape Town. The racing stopped for 3-4 months. Guys got a little salary every month. They could keep going. So a lot of support comes from racing. There's no doubt about that.
Kev, you're on the next one. Get rid of those sheets. And the next guy you got is John Jacobs. You love John Jacobs.
Joseph Jacobs. Yeah, he's an absolute character. Hi, James and Paul. The interview with Cliffy Otto was brilliant. The footage and the pictures that you used to add much to the entertainment value as well as the racing past. This is a story that many of us all wanted to see. I mean, it was
aspirant.
Absolutely. It was brilliant that we all sat there if you knew Cliffy Otto. A bit on the stallion and the mare pedigree would have been appreciated as well as their own success at stud.
Well, unfortunately, we ran out of time. You know,
that's
there
the
were
problem.
a couple
People
of other
wouldn't know
things
that. There was
a
quite
couple
a lot
of other
more
things that I wanted to talk to Cliffy Otto about. A couple of personal things, because I know a couple of things that he lined up in his day, and I wanted to find out about a couple of the coups he pulled. And, but we never got to that. And Divine Act went to stud. And I had a very good filly called Fabulous Act. She won 3 stakes races. She won 6 races by Divine Act. She was very, very good. In fact, I put young Sham, what's his name? Robbie Sham, on it when he came back. He made his comeback. You remember he made his comeback?
Okay? You stopped
and he was riding for Alec Laird. I'll never forget. He's riding for Alec Laird. And he said, beg me for the ride on it. And I always mates with him. So I said to him, okay, Robbie, you can ride this. But if you get beaten by Alec Laird's horse, which was a favourite, never ever come back near me again. Well, it won by about 4.
That's Robbie.
Despite Robbie.
You would never have done that anything. But
anyway, let's go to John Jacobs again and finish with him. This is Joe Jacobs. John Jacobs was a trainer. You remember
this
John
Joseph,
Jacobs? No, this is Joe. Joe's an owner here. He's always here, always giving us a piece of his mind. general statement that horse racing breed in South Africa needs to be seen as in a national perspective if it is to thrive. Well, we know that. Many aspects have been done in this regard, but there are areas where I fear this is not the practice. I take, for example, the gallops at the Janby Met. Well, he goes on to say that he wasn't happy with the gallops, and he said that he never saw the horses, and they never timed, and they couldn't see them in the parade ring, and all the problems that everyone has with gallops, okay? Yeah. Because the question I ask you, is gallops antiquated, or are they there forever?
But people must understand, even our July gallops, they aren't gallops. It's for the people to come and see the horses. I know we do take time.
It's a PRO exercise.
Absolutely. Come here, have your sticky buns, your coffee, come see your favorite horses, maybe get a handshake from Mark de Kock or Anton Marcus, your guys that you watch on TV. The times are irrelevant. Half these horses come here and they just do a little half pace around the corner. The last thing the trainer wants to do is put him on a float a week before the big race, bring him down here, gallop him, take him back again. It's a PRO stint, that's all. So gallops today are not gallops. Go to Summerveld and go and watch the real gallops when they line them up 6 furlongs and they're doing splits, top splits, 11 seconds a furlong or 12 seconds a furlong, and the trainers are letting them work up the hill. That's where you'll see the gallops. But that'll be most probably a month before or 3 weeks before. Those ones that come here, today it's everybody to come and see the horses, have a bit of fun, go to work late, and it aren't gallops. So
it's actually a morning out where you, as you say, meet the people, have some fun, enjoy yourself.
Absolutely, and Cape Town I think do a great job there because they've got the facilities and they lay out a nice breakfast and everything there. Maybe we should do the breakfast nuts and get the...
I like the sticky buns.
Yeah, the sticky buns are good, yeah. Anyway, we understand where he comes from, but please don't take our gallops personally because they aren't gallops. You can see by the times, 36 seconds for the last 400 meters. And then goes in 10 days later, wins the July. So, I mean, you can't go on that. It's impossible.
Right, you've got Tyrone Anthony, the next boy. This is
boy Tyrone, I love him.
Tyrone Anthony.
Hi, Bullies. I'm glad this was to Paul and James, not me. All the best for 2016. I hope you have many more winners. Anyway, I just need the one of you to help me make sense of this. I buy the Mercury every Friday because it covers the whole weekend racing, which it does. It's very good. You get racing everywhere. Yeah. However, I come to note that the preview is written by one person, which is Warren. He does one section. Then the selection in form grid by another person. That's
Richard McMillan.
Richard McMillan.
Yeah.
This is not on. The person who writes the preview should be the person filling in the top 3 in the grid selection. You get Warren writing one thing and Richard telling you another thing. I met Warren, he said he would sort it out, and I see the same thing every weekend. This needs to stop. Warren does a great job.
Well, all I can say to Tiebreaker, as he calls himself here, Tiebreaker, he's too gutless to play golf against me. He's been threatening and telling me how he's going to do this and that and the other. And if he's down here, he ducks and dives me. He tells me he's too busy. He's got this, that, and the other, young Tyrone. But at the end of the day, he's got a point. But Warren does the article, and Richard does the tips. And Richard McMillan's probably the best tipster that ever tipped in KwaZulu-Natal. He's got a reputation like you can't believe. So they can't retire him. So he probably says, listen, I can only do the tips. I can't write the editorial anymore because I've got too much cash from his tips. And so now Warren's got to do the writing.
Yeah, he's got Warren's stuck between a rock and a hard place because you can't keep everybody happy.
Yeah, but Tyrone,
But Tyrone's a good. Get him on the golf course. We want to sort this problem out once and for all. But we don't want to email forwards and backwards. We're wasting paper. On the golf course, we've got 4.5 hours to discuss it. By the next time he gets the Mercury, we'll let him buy the Citizen. There's about 9 people.
But next time he gets the Mercury, he won't be able to afford to buy it when we finish with him.
You won't have any money here. But the Citizen has also got a lot of people that are also tipping in that. And they've got forms and times and everything.
So and then buy the Daily News on Saturday as well. The Independent on Saturday. That's got all the form guys. Buy everything.
Buy everything, put it together, and then come to the races and listen to the trainers and jockeys and
by then you'll be properly informed.
We want to confuse you completely, so by that time you'll have to back the 3 to follow. So that'll be his claim to fame. But the next one, this is my favourite one.
I've been dying to go with this one because this is my mate George Barnes, okay, and he doesn't think I'm going to read out his letter. George, you got another thing coming. We might not get this show aired because of the way you've written this letter, but I'm going to just have to pad it a little bit. Hi, Mr. James. Okay, this is George Barnes. He loves having a go, this guy. My, every time I sent you a mail about doping, etc., you had some clever chirp on winning ways. Now we see that you're a dope artist after sitting on TV slating doping. Okay? He says maybe your horse drank Coca-Cola or coffee in the morning at the race. Caffeine, even an illiterate groom would know that caffeine could come up in a test. Well, I don't think the grooms know what tests are anyway, so the point is that doesn't matter.
I missed that boat.
And they test for that, whatever he says, all the time. Same old trainers. Ask some of the old trainers, he says, okay. Now, then he goes on about how I was advised and if I'd actually gone and asked David Price, I would have got away with 50 grand or whatever. And Barry Sheck from O.J. Simpson, your expert witness, because your prof was tied up and hung out to dry. He says, this is the best part. 80K, you better find a chick with money and a house and get married without a prenup, otherwise you're going right into Skid Row. This is George.
Is he talking from experience, do you think? From experience.
George is obviously the most experienced boy around.
This must be his fourth marriage. He knows exactly how it goes.
But at the end of the day, there's only one thing I want to say. The amount of caffeine found in my horse had no effect on the race because it was 1/20th the threshold that affects the horse, but it was above the supposed limits that the National Horse Racing Authority have. Now, they have limits. There's all types of things where there were problems with this case, and that's why it took so long. I know that I was slated because they said that I drew it out, but every time we took a step down the line, we found a new thing that we didn't know about. And the problem with trainers that get caught with positives is that this attitude prevails. But George, you're a dope artist and you dope the horse. Yeah. It makes no difference that there is more than enough literature to suggest that the horse had 1/20th of the amount in it that would have affected its performance. And as it's shown, he races still, that horse, Ulrich, and he races well. He's won about 4 races since this happened. Yeah. So, you know, it's not the caffeine that made him race any better, but it is above the Jockey Club threshold. The problem, as I see it, Kev, is that everyone is tarred with a brush, doping brush.
Yeah, that's
and there's medication and there's doping.
Up that because doping, they think you're pulling a Lance Armstrong on the crowd or one of these athletes that are really that is seriously doping. But like you say, I mean, a jockey get caught for a drug test. He's gone out on a Saturday night. He's had a smoke of a joint. He comes back. He's positive. That was 5 days ago. He's not class him as a drug addict now.
Correct.
Because he's over the threshold. So it's one of those things. So it's a very, very hard thing. It's a horrible thing for people to say it like that. It's not that. It's a positive. Half the stuff you're giving to animals, you're actually trying to help them, ease some pain out of them, doing things like that. You can't make a horse go faster. I've tried to explain to people, you cannot make a horse go faster. The trick is not the trick, but the thing is that you try to make the horse go the same speed for longer.
Yeah.
You can't make them go faster. These guys think, hey, give it that, it'll win. It doesn't work like that. I wish it worked like that. I would have retired earlier.
Well, the point with any drugs is that they mask maybe something that is stopping the athlete running to his best performance.
100%.
And if that's the case, then you're for the high jump, because you shouldn't be doing that, okay, and you shouldn't have that type of stuff in you. But as you say, with all types of tests, and what was interesting was I was talking to some of the cyclists the other day. Now, they know all about these things, and they tell me that there's certain drugs that are allowed in cycling that definitely make them go. And talking about caffeine, as I was talking to them about caffeine, they say they can have 3 lattes before they race. And they say it makes a difference, but 3 lattes would put in a test of about 20,000 nanograms per milliliter of caffeine, not 500, which is what this horse was caught with.
Yeah.
So it's a very different thing when a horse is caught with 1/20th of whatever is a level that's going to affect its performance. But George is a typical example of what people say out there and how damning it is to someone who's caught and how damning it is for your career as a person. And most people aren't able to come on a television in a talk show like I am and say this, but it is damning because people then say, oh, this guy's just dopes his horses.
Yeah, 100%.
But actually, medication is totally different. And most trainers that I know have been caught with some type of medication.
Absolutely, and the athletes too. I mean, and the jockeys as well. They get tested all the time. They randomly get tested and breathalyzed over here, and it's come out all over the world. So guys breathalyzed and they've come up. They're over the drink limit, the driving drink limit, and they've gone to races. Ahmed Ajebi is one of them. Richard Hills' brother, Michael Hills, was another one.
Michael Hills, yeah, that was a famous case, wasn't it?
Yeah, he went out, had a couple of glasses of champagne, and not eating because he knows he's got a light ride the next day. Nothing absorbs it. You come in racing, you're 100% fine, but you're over the limit.
Well, the interesting thing is that just talking about being over the limit, alcohol can stay in your system for quite some time. And it depends what the limit is. And now they've made all these rules as far as driving is concerned. There are people that are driving around. We have grooms that arrive at the stables in the morning. You reek of alcohol. If you put them on a blower, they'll get dismissed straight away. No, I'm telling you, half the grooms that work at the stables, that would happen.
Yeah.
You can't work like that, unfortunately, with them.
Yeah, no, but going to work in the morning and driving after a heavy night or something, you'd find 2/3 of the people going to work on a Monday morning over the limit. So, it's a fine line. As a oil-based substance stay in your system longer.
Yeah.
And that's, you've got to, as an athlete, you've got to put all these things into your head and understand. I mean, jockeys can't take sleeping tablets. They can't take Lasix as a masking agent, which also used to reduce weight. We used to take them we never used to get tests as kids. We weren't masking anything. We were just looking to get our kilo or 2 kilos off for the race day, so you could ride under your natural body weight. There's so many things. Red Bull and all these things over here. You can have half or 3/4. If you get tested, like you say, your caffeine levels have gone through the roof. There's nothing you can do it. You got no leg to stand on.
Yeah.
And 2 cups of coffee.
Kev, just moving on from there and just finishing off the show, Dubai, coming up to Super Saturday World Cup. You've been watching what's been going on. Mike's got a couple of horses that look like they're quite promising. We're going to have some fun. Yeah, we're going to have some fun. It'd be lovely to talk to him again on the phone to see how they're going. I saw Frosted ran the other day for Godolphin, the grey horse. He's got to surely be favoured for the World Cup. I mean, broke the course record by 2 seconds on that heavy dirt track, which is nobody likes except for those American horses. What's his name? McLaughlin, he's the trainer. Kieran McLaughlin. Well, he worked for Godolphin before them. He worked for them in Dubai, so he knows all about Dubai. He knows all about Dubai. So, but there are some very nice horses. Froster's not the end of it. They're bringing another horse called Keen Ice. I saw that now as well. Now that horse is supposedly better than Froster. He must probably run on Super Thursday in the second leg. Is it the Maktoum Challenge? Maktoum Challenge. And then there's California Chrome. He's sitting there as well. I think he might have come to the end of his I think the younger horses might have the edge in him. But I mean, Barry Irwin, he's not going to miss out on having another go at that. For me, I really think it's great. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be very good racing. And I like the way Liquid Mercury won. I thought he was sensational. He was absolutely sensational. I thought Christoph gave him a great ride. They let that pacemaker get away a little bit too far, and nobody panicked because they don't know that this track is a little bit heavier than you think it is, and it's as straight as long, and they come back to you. And don't forget, this week, Thursday, Harry's son having his second attempt. He runs in the Jebel Hatta. He's running in the mile race, I think, or something. Anyway, the Zabeel Mile. Zabeel Mile, that's it, yeah. Zabeel Mile. He'll be up against it again. There's some tough horses again. These horses are all lining up for the duty free, and if they don't make the duty free, maybe too far, they'll be falling into the Godolphin Mile. So good racing this weekend. It's starting to happen, and then Super Saturday coming soon. I might just try and even maybe shake my head and go over, and Mark said I must come over and have a look at the horses and see all the old guys again. I can't make World Cup now, it's just too busy. Yeah. But Super Saturday would be lovely to go over. I think I'm trying to make a plan to get there as well.
Super Saturday.
Yeah, Super Saturday.
I think this could be the right. That could be
Phil's,
the right.
Phil's, if you would like to go, Phil's the right guy. But Kev, thanks so much for joining us, and all the best to you. You seem to have fallen into this presenting role with, like, it's all your life you've been able to do it.
Yeah, and I've really learned a lot. It's enjoyable, and the guys that I work with, yourself, Paul, Sheldon, Dees, Warren. Lovely guys, our producer Raymond, Spielberg, he's different class.
Now, Spielberg's in a league of his own.
A league of his own, and we've got our cameraman, Zane, and Simulation. He's our boy. You've got to shout at him every now and again to come and focus up. But yeah, it's lovely. I love it, and I hope it goes from strength to strength.
Well, nice to have KB with us, as he says. Watch the racing at Super Dubai, Maidan on Thursday. Harry's son and Mike de Kock will have a slew of them, so it's great to be able to support the South Africans again this week. Until next time, have a great week's racing.
It's a very good race, Laura. I thought Mujarib had a chance of doing it again. Faris Walsh moves in. He's taken over as international favourite in front of Ertagel. He's been well supported, and he is also picked 6 favourite.
Faris Walsh, but pounced on the outside, went to his stable companion. Ertagel battles back, but the South Africans are 1, 2 and 4 in the end.
The real Faris Walsh has stood up this season.
Benadia leads. Anna Arobio is coming at him. The post is looming up. Anna Arobio lunged, and I think in the last gasp has won.
Mike's a magician in successive races. It's at a cock 1, 2, probably 1, 2, 3.